What if I told you that 90% of underwhelming AI responses come from just 3 fixable mistakes in how you write prompts? Not the AI's fault, yours. The difference between a generic ChatGPT answer and something genuinely useful often comes down to knowing the right pattern for the job. Today, I'm handing you 10 prompt templates that work every single time. Patterns I use daily, patterns that top AI engineers rely on, patterns you can copy, paste, and adapt in under a minute. Let's make your prompts actually work. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people treat prompting like improv comedy. Make it up as you go. Hope for the best. But the best AI users treat it like cooking. You follow a recipe first, then improvise once you understand the fundamentals. These 10 patterns are your recipes. They work because they exploit how language models actually process instructions, giving them the right scaffolding to generate exactly what you need. Pattern 1. The persona pattern. This is the simplest upgrade you can make to any prompt. Instead of asking a generic question, you tell the AI who it should be. You are a senior backend engineer with 10 years of experience in distributed systems. Suddenly, the responses shift. They use domain terminology. They consider edge cases. They think like an expert thinks. The persona primes the model to access the most relevant knowledge clusters. Look at the difference. Without a persona, this code increments a counter. With a persona, this code has a classic read, modify, write race condition. Between reading current and writing the new value, another thread could read the same stale value. Consider using threading, .lock, or atomic operations. Same code, wildly different depth. The persona unlocks expertise the model already has, but wouldn't surface by default. Pattern 2. Chain of thought. For any task requiring reasoning, logic, or multi-step analysis, you explicitly ask the model to think step by step before answering. This isn't a gimmick. Research from Google and OpenAI shows that asking for intermediate reasoning steps dramatically improves accuracy on math problems, coding bugs, and logical puzzles. You're giving the model scratch paper to work through the problem. Watch what happens. The model traces through with input like 1, 5, 3, 9, 2. It notices when we hit 9, we correctly set second to 5. But wait, what if the list is 9, 5, 3, 1, 2? The largest starts as 9, second starts as 5, but we never enter the if block. We never compare 5 against other elements. It finds the bug through reasoning. The fix? Initialize both to negative infinity and add an else if clause. Step-by-step thinking caught what a direct answer would miss. Pattern 3. Few short examples. Instead of describing what you want, you show it. You give the model 2 or 3 examples of input-output pairs, then provide your actual input. The model pattern matches and follows your format exactly. This is incredibly powerful for tasks that are easy to demonstrate but hard to describe. Like converting data formats, applying a specific writing style, or generating code that matches your team's conventions. How many examples do you need? For simple transformations, 2 is often enough. For nuanced tasks, like matching a specific tone or handling edge cases, use 3 to 5. The key is variety. Your examples should cover different scenarios. If all your examples are positive sentiment, the model won't know how you want negatives handled. Think of examples as training data. Diverse examples equal robust outputs. Pattern 4. Output format control. Never leave output format to chance. If you need JSON, say respond only with valid JSON, no markdown, no explanation. If you need a table, specify return as a markdown table with columns. Name, type, description. If you need bullet points, say exactly how many and how long. The model will match your specification, but only if you specify. Ambiguity in format instructions creates ambiguous outputs. Pro tip: if you're using the OpenAI API, enable JSON mode explicitly in your API call. Set response format to JSON.object. But even with JSON mode, you still need to describe the schema in your prompt. JSON mode guarantees valid JSON syntax. It doesn't guarantee the right fields or structure. That's still your job in the prompt. Always pair JSON mode with explicit schema instructions. Pattern 5. Constraint Injection. This is about telling the model what not to do. Constraints focus the output. Write a Python function is okay. Write a Python function using only standard library. No classes. Under 20 lines with type hints is better. Constraints eliminate the vast space of possible outputs and guide the model toward exactly what you need. Think of constraints as guardrails, not limitations. See the result? 14 lines. Pure standard library. Type hints on the function signature. No rejects in sight, just clean string operations. Returns false on invalid input instead of raising. Every constraint we specified is honored. Without those constraints, you might get a 50-line monstrosity, importing 3 libraries and raising custom exceptions. Constraints shape outputs. Use them aggressively. Pattern 6. The critique pattern. This is a 2-step approach. First, ask the model to generate something. Then, in a follow-up prompt, ask it to critique its own output and improve it. Review the code you just wrote. Identify 3 potential issues and fix them. This leverages the model's ability to evaluate, which is often stronger than its ability to generate perfectly on the first try. You're building in a revision cycle. Why does self-critique work so well? It's the same reason code review catches bugs. A fresh perspective, even from the same entity, finds issues the first pass missed. The model isn't searching for any answer anymore. It's evaluating a specific answer against criteria. This is a different cognitive mode. Evaluation is easier than generation. Use it. For important outputs, always add a critique step. Pattern 7. Template filling. Instead of asking for free-form generation, you provide a template with blanks. Fill in the following template for a git commit message. Type. Scope. Description. Type must be feat, fix, or docs. Scope is the module name. Description is under 50 characters. You're not hoping for the right format. You're enforcing it. Templates work beautifully for repetitive tasks like documentation, commit messages, PR descriptions, and error messages. The output follows the template exactly. Feat, auth. Add input validation to registration form. Type, scope, description, all correct. Body has 3 clean bullet points. What validation was added, why it matters, what it prevents. Every commit message generated this way will be consistent. Your Git log will look like it was written by one very disciplined developer because it was your template. Pattern 8. Context. Windowing. When you're working with long documents that exceed the context limit, or even just large code bases, you need to be strategic about what you include. Don't dump everything in. Instead, provide a high-level summary first, then the specific section you're asking about. This is a 500-page legal document about X. Here's the table of contents. Now here's section 4.2, which I need you to analyze. You're windowing into the relevant context. For code, the same principle applies. Don't paste your entire code base. Provide the file tree structure, then the specific file, then highlight the function in question. Here's my project structure. Here's the auth module. Specifically, look at the validate token function starting at line 47. You're giving the model just enough context to understand the ecosystem, then zooming into the exact area. Surgical context, not carpet bombing. Pattern 9. Iterative refinement. Don't try to get the perfect output in one prompt. Start broad, then narrow. Write a blog post about Kubernetes. Then, make it more technical. Add code examples. Then, shorten the intro, expand the troubleshooting section. Each iteration refines the output. This is especially powerful for creative or complex outputs where your requirements emerge as you see drafts. Treat prompting as a conversation, not a single command. Pattern 10. Meta prompting. This is prompting about prompts. You ask the AI to help you write a better prompt for a task. I want to generate unit tests for Python functions. Help me write a prompt that will consistently produce high-quality tests with edge cases. The model knows what information it needs to do a good job. Let it tell you. Meta prompting is like asking a chef what ingredients they'd need before you go shopping. Let the expert define the requirements. The model returns a beautifully structured template. Given this Python function, generate PyTest unit tests. Include happy path tests, edge cases for empty and null inputs, error cases that should raise exceptions, boundary value tests. It even suggests, for async functions, add this modifier. For functions with external dependencies, add mocking instructions. The AI designed a better prompt than you would have. Now save that template and reuse it forever. Meta prompting creates prompting assets. Here's the secret. These patterns combine. Your best prompts will use 3 or 4 patterns together. Persona plus chain of thought plus constraints plus output format. You are a security auditor? Review this code step by step for vulnerabilities. Only flag OWASP top 10 issues. Return as JSON with severity ratings. Each pattern adds a layer of control. Start with one, then stack. The more patterns you combine thoughtfully, the more predictable and useful your outputs become. You've now got 10 prompt patterns that actually work. Not theory, but templates you can use today. Remember the big 3. Persona pattern to unlock expertise, chain of thought for reasoning tasks, and output format control to get exactly the structure you need. These patterns compound. Combine them for even better results. Next up, watch our video on building custom GPTs, where you'll bake these patterns directly into reusable AE assistants. If this changed how you think about prompting, hit subscribe and leave a comment. Which pattern are you going to try first?